How's it, friends, and welcome to another lekker plain chat about rugby. The Springboks played Argentina in round 5 of the Rugby Championship this past Saturday in a week marked by a lot of off-the-field nonsense. First, we learned that Alton Yankees didn't get the message that you shouldn't clap cheeks where you eat, and appears to have found some space in the middle of the team's dietitian. Apparently, and maybe for the last time, guests and staff at a guest house in Nelspruit heard oohs and ahs from Yankees putting points on the board, and on inspection saw Yankees was with a woman that bears very little resemblance to his wife. The two Fransen were especially shocked to hear that the Springboks had someone on staff that should have told them to start drinking their brandy with Coke Zero. People were quick to start judging Alton Yankees, which immediately had me thinking about Bill Burr's Tiger Woods joke. If you're a World Cup winning fly-off, you might have a problem with pulling kicks at goal, but you won't have a problem in pulling the ladies. Yankees also ran up a bill of more than 25,000 rand, and in doing so, perhaps proving that he can go for more than one half. Yankees has since made statements saying some accusations are false, while at the same time apologizing for his actions, which seems like a contradictory message. Alton's apologizing game has seen a much greater improvement than his kicking for touch the last couple of weeks. This is now the second off-field allegation to tackle Yankees after he had charges of malicious damage to property against him withdrawn earlier this year. It's difficult to imagine Yankees' career taking an upward trajectory from here, as comebacks from these types of things are generally very rare. All jokes aside though, it seems as if Alton is going through some issues at the moment, and I wish him well in dealing with those issues. Hopefully for him, and especially for his kids, they can put their issues behind them soon. As for Sinji, I hope she recovers from this both personally and professionally and continues to have a long career. It's seldom that a personal issue is so damaging that someone losing their career over it is entirely justified. And then a so-called rugby magazine ran by journalists that know things about rugby revealed that report is ready to publish an explosive report that the Springboks are taking more than just steroids, but cocaine as well. Unlike Yankees, the magazine may have shot their shoot a bit early, as the story is yet to be published. Every time the magazine, who shall not be named, publishes something, I ask myself, do I really care? And the answer is usually no. This is no exception. I can promise you that not just a lot of rugby players, but a lot of professional athletes use some sort of recreational drug. I don't care if the report finds that the Springboks were taking a straw 80 enema on a pile of cocaine while getting a lap dance. Just put the points on the board, boys. On a serious note though, I have long held a particular disdain for the Voldemort magazine. They are incapable of basing any of their rugby opinions on tactics, and much rather prefer to offer hot takes that you can easily get from any drunk rugby fan you meet at the bar. Their articles are incredibly divisive and tend to fuel this dichotomy of the Springboks are either the world's best or are absolutely horrible. Now finally we can get to the real stuff. Due to Yankees' absence, Willems has started at 10 once more, keeping the starting team unchanged from the team that beat Australia. Some changes on the bench though, with Faf the Cocker Spaniel coming in with Andre Estreisen and Ulrich Lowe in another 5-3 split. To understand why the Springboks changed the team in this way, we have to understand Argentina. Argentina are really good at tackling. They dominate the tackle stats this Rugby Championship season. They are an incredibly fit team as well, which means it's difficult to outmaneuver this Argentina team. You're probably not running around them per se. They have the ability to fend phase after phase if you're just looking to probe an opening, as the All Blacks found out in the match they lost against Argentina. Secondly, the set piece on balance I think is a weakness for Argentina. Their line-out success rate seems pretty good statistically, but if you look more closely you'll see that the Springboks win more line-outs in general, probably because they tend to have more line-outs in a game than Argentina would. Looking at this, I think the Boks backed themselves to dominate the line-out set piece. So based on this, the Boks decided two things. They're going to start driving more every chance they get, and secondly, they are going to run the absolute living fuck out of Argentina. We can see the impact of this in a couple of ways. First and most obvious, the Boks scored 5 tries. One was a pushover from a maul, one was just simple hands to the winger, and the other 3 was from putting up the driving ball, giving the ball to DDA to isolate and smash into the Argentina centers, and then bringing the forwards around the corner for smash upon smash upon smash until something broke. Those 3 tries were scored with either less than a 1 meter pass or just breaking around the rock. Not trying to stretch a defense, but just causing disorganization by hitting fast and hard and getting over the game line. It's almost as if Argentina's defense enforces the wide channels first before securing the area around the rock. And the Springboks carrying stats in this game is mental. DDA and Malcolm each carried the ball 14 times. I don't care who you are, if you're 5 or 10 kilograms lighter than DDA like Orlando is, you aren't going to be dominant in all 14 of those tackles. Same with Marks. Marks is a brutal piece of meat. This is the same guy who topped the defenders beaten stats for the Springboks against Australia after coming on as a sub in the first game, and he carried 14 fucking times. It's very difficult to get accurate player weights, but on face value it seems as if South Africa have a size advantage in basically every position. I'm not saying Argentina are a small team, but if you compare them with the Wallabies and New Zealand, you've got some of these absolute units like Valetini, Frizzell, Savia, Samu, and the All Blacks hooker whose name I'll butcher worse than a Pick and Pay club stat. Even if this is not the case, you can see the physical battle play out statistically. The Boks carried a lot less than the RGs, but gained more meters. Ergo, the Boks are better at stopping Argentina on contact than the other way around. And that's what the game came down to. Just fucking brutal smash rugby. This is a Springbok plan specifically for Argentina. Consider South Africans attacking kicks against New Zealand and Australia, and the type of tries they scored, throwing the ball wide, drawing in the defense, giving the ball air at set piece. These things were just totally absent against Argentina until the Boks were chasing a bonus point in the final minutes. This is also the same reason I think Ulrich Lowe came onto the bench. He's a bit younger than Dwayne, so he's probably got Thor beaten on fitness and pace. And since the Boks played a 5-3 split, you want your forwards to be a bit fitter since you've got more players that have to play a full game. So you need someone to carry a bit more volume. But Argentina came out firing in the second half and just managed to hold on to the ball a bit more often. But because it's so difficult for them to get momentum from getting over the game line, and they're unlikely from scoring against defensive set piece that outmatches them physically, they can't convert their pressure into points the same way the Boks can with their maul and penetrate rugby. But looking forward to this week, I think there might be more misery for Argentina if they can't get possession dominance. Frans Steyn adds 3 important things and takes 1 important thing away from the Springbok team. He adds the ability to kick a pen from anywhere on the field. He will kick every penalty into attacking territory, and at a whopping weight for a fly-off of probably between 110 and 115 kgs, creates another massive size mismatch at 10, which means he'll probably be between 20 to 30 kilograms heavier than Santiago Carreras, which will cause devastation to the Argentina backline. He takes away that creativity and huge passing range Willems has. But I don't think you need that to beat the RG. Thanks to Pieter Steff to Strooi and Bongi's return, I think the Springbok staff feels there's 6 adequate forwards to ensure the level of the team's quality doesn't drop when the bench comes on. Vincent Koch also carries a bit better than Trevor, which I think is the reason for his inclusion. I think the other reason there are only 2 backs on the bench is that injury is now so widespread that there aren't backs available that can change the game tactically without reducing the quality of the team on the field. Willems' absence in this case is especially crucial. Dwayne adds carrying ability, and with 6 forwards on the bench, peak fitness probably drops down in the requirement for a substitute. You can really make Dwayne's carrying count if you limit it to the last 20 or 30 minutes of the game. This is a team that's built to run hard and run close to the ruck. If anything, I think France's kicking ability will create more mauling opportunities for the Boks and provide Argentina with a lot less possession in attack. Argentina, I think, will try focusing more on attacking kicking this week. They are very good in exploiting big spaces with attacking kicks, and they're also very dangerous on the counter. But the Saints boot, such opportunities may be few and far between. They will have to be perfect defensively, and I think they'll be best served in looking for a smash and grab type of win, defending well and then scoring penalty kicks from around the halfway line with Poffelli's boot. And that's the Lekker Plain chat, friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with a clip of why Reynolds' crackdown on time wasting is absolute nonsense.